When we hear depression, our minds usually jump to the emotional symptoms, that persistent sadness, feeling of hopelessness, or losing interest in things you used to love. And while those are definitely at the core of depression, they're only part of the story. For a huge number of people, depression doesn't just show up as a low mood. It can manifest itself in physical symptoms, and recognizing these symptoms could help you or someone you love get the right support sooner. Today, we're going to uncover 8 common physical signs of depression that are so often missed. By the end of our talk, you'll have a much clearer picture of what your body might be telling you and know the right steps to start feeling like yourself again. If you're new here, welcome. I'm a UK-based internal medicine doctor, and each week I share clear, practical insights on the health issues that truly matter. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. It genuinely helps this information reach more people who may need it most. Symptom 1. Unexplained aches and pains. First up, and one of the most common physical signs, is having persistent, unexplained aches and pains. This isn't the normal soreness you get after a workout. This is a chronic, nagging discomfort that can show up as a dull backache, throbbing neck and shoulder pain, or frequent tension headaches. Maybe you wake up and your back is already bothering you, even though you didn't do anything to injure it. Or you have a constant headache that makes it hard to focus. You might have seen doctors or chiropractors only to be told there's no clear medical reason for your pain. This is incredibly frustrating. You know the pain is real, but without a clear cause, you can start to feel like you're imagining it. So what's the link? Why does a mental health condition cause real physical pain? It comes down to shared pathways in your brain. The neurotransmitters serotonin and norepinephrine are key for regulating your mood, which is why they're so connected to depression. But those same chemical messengers also help control your body's pain signals. When you're depressed, the regulation of these neurotransmitters gets disrupted. You can think of it like the volume control on your body's pain system is broken. The brain loses some of its ability to turn down incoming pain signals. As a result, your pain threshold gets lower, and discomforts that your brain would normally ignore are now amplified into significant chronic pain. On top of that, depression is often linked to increased inflammation throughout the body, which can contribute to joint pain and muscle stiffness. It creates a vicious cycle. The pain makes you feel worse mentally, and the worsening depression makes the pain feel worse physically. Recognizing that your chronic back pain or constant headaches could be a physical sign of depression can be a turning point. It's not all in your head in a dismissive way. It's a real physiological process. It validates your experience and points toward a different path for treatment, one that addresses both your mind and body together. Symptom 2. Profound and persistent fatigue. The second sign is a type of fatigue that's just bone deep and relentless. This isn't simply feeling tired. It's a profound exhaustion that a good night's sleep can't fix. The vast majority of people with major depression experience this kind of overwhelming fatigue. Patients have described it as feeling like they're moving through molasses. This might look like struggling to get out of bed, even after 8 or 9 hours of sleep. You might wake up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed. Simple tasks that used to be second nature, taking a shower, making breakfast, can suddenly feel like they require a massive amount of energy. This isn't laziness, it's a physical inability to get going. This debilitating fatigue comes from the biological changes of a depressive episode. The same neurotransmitters we just talked about, serotonin and norepinephrine, are also essential for energy and alertness. When they're out of balance, your whole energy system is affected. Dopamine, another key neurotransmitter tied to motivation and reward, is also often lower, which adds to that feeling of being stuck. Emerging research is also looking at our cells' energy production. Some studies, including work from early 2026, suggest that in people with depression, the mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses in our cells, might not be working efficiently. Their cells might produce more energy at rest, but struggle to ramp up energy production when needed, leading to that feeling of being easily drained. This suggests the fatigue from depression is a real biological problem, right down to the cellular level. You want to do things, but your body just won't cooperate. This can lead to a lot of guilt and self-blame. Understanding this fatigue as a core physical symptom of depression can help you shift from self-criticism to self-compassion, which is a critical step toward getting help. Symptom 3. Significant sleep problems. The third physical sign is a major disruption to your sleep, which is a hallmark of depression affecting the majority of individuals. This isn't just a few bad nights. It's a chronic pattern of sleep disturbance that usually takes one of two forms: insomnia or hypersomnia. Insomnia is the more well-known issue. You might have trouble falling asleep, lying awake for hours with your mind racing, or you might wake up multiple times during the night for no reason. One of the classic signs of depression-related insomnia is waking up way too early, like at 4 or 5 a.m., and being unable to fall back asleep as your mind is flooded with anxious thoughts. This leaves you feeling groggy and irritable all day. On the other hand, there's hypersomnia, or oversleeping. It might sound strange, but for many people with depression, sleep becomes an escape. You might find yourself sleeping 10, 12, or even more hours a day and still feeling exhausted. The bed can feel like the only safe place from the pain of being awake. The relationship between sleep and depression is a two-way street. Depression messes with the brain's sleep-regulating systems. The stress hormone cortisol, which is often higher in people with depression, can interfere with normal sleep cycles. At the same time, chronic poor sleep is a major risk factor for developing depression and can make existing depression much worse. It creates a downward spiral that's tough to break out of. If you've been struggling with your sleep for a while, whether you can't sleep or can't seem to stop sleeping, it's a powerful signal from your body. Recognizing it as a potential sign of depression is crucial because targeted treatments, like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, can be extremely effective. Symptom 4: changes in appetite and weight. The fourth physical sign is a significant change in your appetite, which usually leads to a change in your weight. Just like with sleep, this can go in two opposite directions: a total loss of appetite or a sharp increase in cravings and emotional eating. For many, depression completely kills the desire to eat. Food loses its taste, and preparing a meal feels overwhelming. You might go all day without feeling hungry, only realizing you haven't eaten when you start to feel weak or dizzy. This often leads to unintentional weight loss and is tied to anhedonia, the loss of pleasure. Just as you lose interest in hobbies, you can lose interest in the pleasure of food. For another large group of people, depression triggers the opposite: an increase in appetite, especially for high-carb, sugary, and fatty foods. We often call this emotional eating. These foods can give a temporary mood boost, but it's short-lived and often followed by guilt, which just deepens the depression. You might find yourself turning to food to numb your feelings or fill a sense of emptiness, leading to weight gain that can then harm your self-esteem. These changes aren't about a lack of willpower. The brain regions that regulate appetite are deeply connected to the regions that control mood. Depression can disrupt the hormones that signal hunger and fullness, and high levels of the stress hormone cortisol are known to drive cravings for high-calorie foods. Whether you've lost weight without trying or are gaining weight from uncontrollable cravings, this is a critical physical clue. It's a direct reflection of what's happening in your brain. It's important to see the change in weight as a symptom, not the core problem, and to recognize the link between your eating habits and your mental health. Symptom 5: psychomotor changes. The fifth sign is something called psychomotor change, and it refers to a noticeable speeding up, agitation, or more commonly, a slowing down, retardation, of your physical movements. It's often more obvious to others than to the person experiencing it. Psychomotor retardation is when your body literally feels like it's moving in slow motion. Your gestures might become smaller, your reaction time slows, and you might walk and talk more slowly. It can feel like your body is incredibly heavy, and every movement takes conscious effort. This physical slowing is a direct outward expression of the mental slowing that often comes with depression, the difficulty concentrating and making decisions. This happens because of changes in the parts of the brain that plan and execute movement. When the neural circuits in these areas are dampened by depression, it's like a physical braking effect. It's a powerful example of the mind-body connection. Your inner state of lethargy becomes visible in how you move through the world. Less common, but still significant, is psychomotor agitation. Instead of slowing down, you might feel an intense inner restlessness. You might be unable to sit still, constantly fidgeting, pacing, or wringing your hands. There's a nervous, crawling out of your skin energy that you can't shake. This is often the physical expression of the intense internal anxiety that can come with depression. Whether you feel like you're stuck in slow motion or filled with a restless energy you can't control, these changes are a strong physical indicator of your internal state. Symptom 6: gastrointestinal issues. The sixth physical sign involves your gut. Persistent stomach problems, like nausea, cramps, constipation, or diarrhea, are incredibly common physical symptoms of depression. Many people see specialists and go through invasive tests, only to be told they have something like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or that there's no clear explanation for their digestive issues. The reason is the powerful gut-brain axis. Your brain and your gut are in constant communication. In fact, your gut is often called the second brain because it contains millions of neurons and produces about 90 to 95% of your body's serotonin, that key mood-regulating chemical. When you're depressed, the brain sends distress signals to the gut, which can throw off the normal rhythm of digestion. It can also make your gut more sensitive, so normal bloating or gas is perceived as painful cramping. This communication goes both ways. A distressed gut can also send signals to the brain that can make your mood and anxiety even worse. It's another one of those vicious cycles. If you've been dealing with chronic digestive issues without a clear physical cause, it's definitely worth considering the role your mental health might be playing. Acknowledging the gut-brain axis isn't dismissing your stomach problems. It's about understanding their potential root and recognizing that treating your depression might be one of the best ways to calm your digestive system. Symptom 7. Reduced libido. The seventh sign is one that's often tough to talk about, which causes a lot of people to suffer in silence: a significantly reduced sex drive or libido. This is more than just not being in the mood sometimes. It's a persistent loss of interest in sex and intimacy that can be distressing for both you and your partner. The link between depression and low libido is direct. First, the core symptoms of depression itself are natural libido killers. The profound fatigue makes the idea of sex feel exhausting. Anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, extends to physical pleasure too. And the feelings of worthlessness common in depression can make you feel insecure and undesirable. Biologically, the same neurotransmitter imbalances are at play. Serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine are all involved in regulating sexual desire. To make things even more complicated, this is a symptom that can also be caused or made worse by some antidepressant medications, particularly SSRIs. This can put people in a difficult spot where the treatment for their depression is worsening one of its most distressing symptoms. If you've noticed a significant drop in your sex drive, it's important not to automatically blame yourself or your relationship. It's a very real and common physiological symptom of depression. As awkward as it might feel, it's crucial to discuss this with your doctor. There are often solutions, like adjusting your medication. Seeing this as a medical symptom, not a personal failing, is the first step toward addressing it. Symptom 8. Other strange physical sensations. Finally, our eighth category is a collection of other strange and sometimes frightening physical sensations that are often linked to depression and its frequent companion, anxiety. These can include heart palpitations, chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, and tingling or numbness in your arms and legs. Imagine you're just sitting on the couch and suddenly your heart starts pounding, or you feel a sharp chest pain that makes you think you're having a heart attack. These symptoms are terrifying and often send people straight to the emergency room. After a full workup, they are once again told, everything looks normal. These sensations are often physical signs of the body's fight or flight response being stuck in the on position, which is common in both anxiety and depression. Your brain perceives a threat, even an emotional one, and floods your body with adrenaline. This causes your heart to race, your breathing to become shallow, and can lead to those dizzy or tingling feelings. The overlap between depression and anxiety is huge, and these symptoms often live in that space. It is absolutely vital to get any new, alarming symptom like chest pain checked out by a doctor to rule out a serious physical cause. However, if you've been repeatedly cleared by a doctor and these symptoms continue alongside feelings of low mood or hopelessness, it's very likely they are part of the physical picture of your depression. Understanding this can help demystify these scary experiences and shift the focus from fearing a medical catastrophe to treating the underlying depression and anxiety that's keeping your nervous system on high alert. Today we looked at the often hidden physical side of depression. We've talked about unexplained pain, profound fatigue, sleep problems, changes in appetite, the slowing of your movements, gut distress, low libido, and other strange physical sensations. As we've seen, depression is not just in your head, it's a whole body illness. The most important message to take away from this is one of validation. If you're experiencing these symptoms, what you are feeling is real. You are not making it up, and you are not weak. You are experiencing the legitimate physiological effects of a complex medical condition. Understanding this is the first and most powerful step toward healing. So, what are the next steps? If several of these signs resonated with you, and they've been going on for more than a couple of weeks, especially if you also have a low mood or have lost interest in life, here's what you can do. First, start to track your symptoms. Keep a simple log of your pain levels, energy, sleep, and mood. This will be valuable information when you talk to a professional. Second, schedule an appointment with your primary care doctor. It's essential to rule out other physical causes for your symptoms, like thyroid issues or vitamin deficiencies. When you go, be direct. Say something like, "I've been having these physical symptoms and I'm wondering if they could be related to depression." Third, seek a mental health screening from a therapist or psychiatrist. They can properly assess all of your symptoms and work with you to create a treatment plan that's right for you. While you're waiting for those appointments, start with one small, achievable goal. Don't try to fix everything at once. Maybe it's just going for a 10-minute walk each day, or making sure you eat one balanced meal. These small steps can start to make a big difference. And finally, please reach out. Talk to a friend or family member you trust. If you are in crisis or feeling hopeless, please know there is immediate, free, and confidential help available wherever you are. Remember, recognizing that your body is sending out distress signals is the beginning of the path to recovery. Seeking help is a sign of strength. Thank you for taking the time to understand your body's signals today. Be kind to yourself, and know that it is possible to feel well again, both in mind and in body. If you found this video helpful, or if you think it could help someone you know, please give it a like and share it. You never know who might need to hear this information. And finally, if you want more content that helps you understand the deep connection between your mind and body, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.